We've spent a number of programs talking about Bill Cosby. How could you not? I mean, here is a guy who is the subject of an avalanche of media coverage, belated, I might add, about these allegations, many of them 20, 30, even 40 years old, that he drugged and sexually abused or raped a number of women. This was something that was largely avoided by the media, and then it became a huge media story, and Cosby's camp started to fight back and denounce the media. And then I think we were done. I think we covered it well. But on last Sunday's program, we got into it again because we were talking about the debut of a new Comedy Central show, The Nightly Show with Larry Wilmore, who happens to be the only African-American comedian late night right now. And out of the gate, Wilmore did two things. The first night, he took on Al Sharpton, and the second night, he took on Bill Cosby. And so I thought it was noteworthy and worth a segment to talk about Larry Wilmore's new show and whether or not it required a certain degree of bravery on his part to go after two very prominent African Americans, and whether or not what he had to say had extra sting than it would have coming from some white comic, or whether it was a ratings ploy to kind of boost his street cred, get people aware of the show, and we talked about that possibility as well. We got an email from Sean in Alaska who says, "I wish Fox would not let anyone defend Bill Cosby. He obviously did what he is accused of. I do not care how much good he has done. That clown you just had on should not be near Fox." Well, first of all, Sean, I believe, and I think the network believes, in having lots of different points of view on. I don't know for a fact that Bill Cosby did what he is accused of. He has not been convicted. I often say he's been convicted by the media, and I can't help but notice that many of these women stayed silent for decades before making their allegations public. At the same time, I have said again and again and again, with the count up to 35 different women, most of them with nothing to gain because the statute of limitations has long since expired, and so there's no possibility of any monetary reward. They are coming forth with remarkably similar stories. So I don't know exactly what happened. You don't know exactly what happened. And if Richard Fowler, radio talk show host who was on the program, wanted to say the following, I think he's entitled to do that. He wasn't defending Cosby against these allegations. He was troubled by the allegations, but he said we have to keep in mind that Bill Cosby has done a lot of good in his career, that he created The Cosby Show, that he was a comedian who many of us grew up listening to his albums back when people listened to albums, and he didn't think that should be so easily dismissed despite the fact of these allegations. You're free to disagree with that. I don't completely buy it. I think Cosby, with what he allegedly did, and I'm not convicting him, but there are a lot of women saying this, tarnished his own career in a way that is now hard to separate Dr. Huxtable and the Jell-O salesman from the guy who was accused of this heinous behavior. But I don't think we should be in a position of saying no one should be able to come on Fox and say X, because that's not the way I run my show. We want an open debate. You're free to disagree, and we like having different points of view represented.